Man, Shinto is thirsty. Look at that dude.
Hello everyone. So today we're gonna do a bit of prediction for the new set, Flame of Laeveteinn, BPO3, which will be coming out in mid of December, 16th of December to be exact. And I just want you guys to remember that this is just a prediction. This is just for fun. I have no solid proof of what card will be coming out. I'm just making this for content. And also, Flame of Laeveteinn comes with, 3 starter decks. We will take those starter decks into consideration as some cards for those starter decks has already been reviewed. So with that said, we're gonna predict how the set is gonna work out and what are the legendaries that might come out. Okay, so the first thing we need to answer is, where is Nightmare's bot wipe? Shadowverse Evolve. Where is it? Where? Forest got their AoE bounce. Dragon got Convergation. Bishop got Heaven's Decree. Even Royal have Alexander in BPO2. And Witch have Alchemist Law. So where's Nightmare's bot wipe? Okay, so let's help them solve this issue. So if we want to come out with a bot wipe from Nightmare, we first need to recognize that Nightmare is a mixture of Bloodcraft and Shadowcraft. Yeah, I almost forget what was the other craft. And Shadowcraft, yeah. So let's look at some of the old bot wipes that these two classes have. So first of all, Demonic Storm. So Demonic Storm is a 6 mana spell, deal 3 damage to all allies and enemy. So this is a Bloodcraft card. So if it's today's bot wipe standard, the Shadowverse Evolve bot wipe standard, it will be 5 mana and with the same effect. However, I do not think that Shadowverse Evolve will be adding this card anytime soon, because Hyper Aggro Nightmare have shown that they can be very lethal if decks are not built against it, and giving them additional face damage at the same time able to bot wipe can be very problematic for to balance out Nightmare. So I don't think Demonic Storm is the answer for their problem. So next we have Foul Tempest. Oh, okay, sorry, it's supposed to be 3 mana. The 5 mana should be somewhere else. So this is a 3 mana Foul Tempest. Deal 1 damage to each enemy follower. Necromancy 6, deal 3 damage instead. This was Shadowcraft answers to aggro, and at the same time Necromancy 6 can be easily achieved during the mid game to help Shadowcraft deal with other tempo decks during the mid game. However, I think Necromancy 6 deal 3 right now will be very, very weak in this Shadowverse Evolve meta, because most of the huge tempo swing from tempo decks, their followers are usually 4 health minimally. So I think this card already is no longer that strong in Shadowverse Evolve if we were to bring this card over. So what I suggest is that Foul Tempest, make this 5 mana. So deal 4 damage to each enemy follower. For the same mana as Convergation, we deal 1 less damage. However, we should be able to clear most of the tempo tempo followers, such as Floral Fencer from Royal and Dawa Scarlet from Uma. And then Necrocharge 10, deal 6 damage to each enemy follower. Necrocharge 10 is because from what I see the trend from BPO1 and BPO2, Necrocharge 10 seems to be the standard that Shadowverse Evolve determined that the game has reached consistently enough that the effect won't be too broken. It's just nice effect. Like, I think it's somewhere around the later part of the mid game where you should be able to get Necrocharge 10. So with that said, Necrocharge 10 deals 6 damage to each enemy follower. It's pretty good. You are still able to deal with a very big bot. from most of the tempo decks. And it is not too broken because it kind of cannot kill you know Bishop and Dragon's followers, because Bishop and Dragon's follower are very very big, such as Aegis, which is a 8/8. I mean, well, Fafnir is a 7/8. So you kind of am not able to clear their followers, which kind of is a must, because Nightmare Array do have very strong single target removal against those class, such as Kawi, Soul Dealer, etc. etc. So I think the board white must be balanced, and I think 6 and 4 damage is quite balanced enough for 5 mana. So I predict maybe something like this will come for board white for Nightmare. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so how will BPO3 work? In my opinion, from the trend from BPO1 and BPO2, it seems that each class will have two playstyle. So one will be from Wonderland Dreams, which is Alice in Wonderland, and the second one will be from Flame of Laeveteinn, which is the box itself. If in the CCG, which is the phone version, is called Celestial Dragon Blade. So we will be looking at legendaries from these two expansion from the game, and kind of predict what they will come up with. Yeah, and the reason why I think that it is Wonderland Dreams is because they already show one legendary, which is Witch, and sorry, not I mean that's not the only legendary, but that's the legendary that makes me think that they are going for Wonderland Dreams, because Wizard of Oz is already shown for witchcraft. Yeah. So with that said, let's see what I predict for every class. Alright, so for Elf, the first one, Wonderland Dreams. There is two legendaries in that set. So you have Beauty and the Beast and Fairy Dragon. To summarize, Fairy Dragon is where gains ability for whenever a fairy die this game. So it's not really a neutral team card. Meanwhile, Beauty and the Beast is a neutral team card where you gain effect based on how many neutral cards you have in your hand. However, because Shadowverse evolved, you have no way to check how many neutral cards are in your hand or in your opponent's hand. At the same time, not showing those cards. So it's kind of problematic to resolve this effect. So this is my solution. So Fanfare, still keep the first effect. If you have at least 5 cards in hand, gain +2/+2. And then the next thing you gain is if you have at least 3 other neutral cards in play, gain the following effect. Can't be destroyed by effects. Reduce damage from effects to 0. So it kind of make this card very good tempo card, which was what it was meant to do. At the same time, I kind of keep its identity there, playing around, having cards in hand, and at the same time having neutral cards in play. However, I think the first effect that he gained can be changed to Aura, because I think if let's say if you put cannot be destroyed by effects, he's gonna be too hard to remove. Yeah. So I rather he gains Aura instead to balance this card out. So what do you guys think? You guys think that is this balanced or is this broken? Comment down below. So that is for Wonderland Dreams. Next we have the Flame of Laeveteinn. You have Cosmo Fang and Nobilis Saber Lily Queen. So if you play the CCG, you will know that Nobilis Saber Lily Queen is a fairy buff card. So you give all its fairy +1 attack, and last word, when this fairy dies, deal 2 damage to enemy leader. Meanwhile, Cosmo Fang is a legendary that plays around bouncing your cards. So because we have already been reviewed these 2 cards from the trial deck, so on the left we have Saber that it can only evolve when you have bounce something. Meanwhile, on the right we do have a bear that gives a spell that bounce something. So most likely my prediction is Cosmo Fang is gonna be the card that they will be releasing. So what will her effect be? Because her effect in the game is very, very different. Her effect is at the end of the turn, bounce all ally followers back to the hand, and um, for each ally follower bounce back to hand, you gain that much life. And when you evolve, she gains the strike ability where she gain plus X plus 0 attack when she attacks. X is equal to the number of ally followers returned to hand this turn. So what I did to her is I changed a bit. So I changed her first effect to, instead of bouncing everything, you choose any number of ally cards to return to hand, and then you put X number of Torn Rose cards in EX area. X equals number of ally cards returned to hand this turn. Alright, so you kind of no need to bounce everything. You just bounce what you need, and then you will get the Torn Rose in your EX area. It kind of, makes this card less all in and much more strategic. Strategic, I think. That's the word. That's the word. Like, you have to have a better understanding of how you want to play the game, how you want to end the game. Do you want to go all in on Cosmo Fang, or do you want, to bounce just a few cards so you don't lose all your tempo and just have more materials to end the game right there? And then she does have a evolve too. So evolve, right? Okay, so sorry, a bit you might be a bit puzzled of why Torn Rose. It's because of this card that was being reviewed back in BBO2. So if you guys look back in BBO2, you realize that some of the card there are spoilers for this set, and one of the spoilers is this Rose Deer, and I was very confused on why that this Rose Deer have put a Torn Burst into your EX area. In fact, I'm even more curious after I look through the CCG, the Celestial Dragon Blade, and I find that Rose Deer is a different card from what this is. And what I feel is that maybe they are trying to play more Tombers for Flame of Laeveteinn, and so that's why I kind of consider that maybe this is what they want. Put X number of Torn Rose. Of course, this is all speculation. None of this is proven. None of these are real information. So, yeah, just let me imagine. So the evolve 2, I feel that it's important for her to evolve 2 because evolve 1 will be too strong, will be too cheap for the next ability, and at the same time she should be getting stats on top of the evolve. So evolve 1 will be too cheap for next effect. So evolve, you choose any number of ally cards to return to hand, then gain plus X plus 0. X equals the number of ally cards returned to hand this turn. We can change that gain plus X plus 0 to strike. However, I kind of want players to know how they want to play the game. So do you want to all in so that she get plus X when she evolve, or do you want to do you want to not evolve and attack with other cards first? That kind of thing. So I think gain plus X plus 0 is fair enough. I mean, you can always change it to strike instead. And I think either way, I think this card can be very broken. I'm sorry to say, I think I didn't balance this card properly, but I can see this card being alright because Forest itself currently ain't very strong in tempo, and I think this is one of the better way for them to end the game. Alright, so what do you guys really think of this card? Is it very broken or is it just nice? Okay, let's move on to the next one. So for Royal, we have Wonderland Dreams. So in Wonderland Dreams, we have Hero of Antiquity, and also we have Cinderella. And Antiquity is definitely not the theme of Alice in Wonderland or Wonderland Dreams. So Cinderella will be the card. And I don't think I will change anything from Cinderella. I think the stats, the cost, the effects is just nice. So 3 mana when an ally royal follower comes into play, return this follower to your hand. So it really punish you for playing non-neutral cards. And I don't think you should increase the stat, because once it reach like 3 mana 5/4 or 3 mana 4/5, she can be very problematic to deal with. I think this card is okay as it is. But yeah, so my prediction is that this card will just come in as it is. Let's move on to the next one. Flame of Laeveteinn for Royal. So we have Valen Fencer and Opulent Strategist. Of course, Valen Fencer will be the card because we already have the hero card back in BB02, Flame Soldier. So Valen Fencer effect is enhance 7, you draw cards until your hand is full. And at the same time, it will change all your heroes to 0 cost. And at the same time, it also have an evolve effect where it give all your hero +3 +0 +3 and rush. It is a leader effect, so leader effect might be too early for the game right now. So this is how I think they will balance it out. So fanfare, search for a hero card from your deck and put it into EX area. When you would cast that card this turn, sorry I forget to add a cast, subtract 3 from its cost. Okay, and then also it also it does have this effect in the CCG as well. Can't take more than 3 damage at a time, because yeah, it feels that Valen Fencer is a card that's, you know, helps Royal to able to trade out the board. So I kind of, you know, just, you know, put that can't take more than 3 damage at a time. I let the effect stays there. Search for a hero card feels more for what hero are doing right now. And then, you know, also kind of reducing the cost allows you to flood the board, which I think is the original intent of this card. Also, it does have the Evolve 1. So on Evolve 1, right? On Evolve, you give all other heroes ally followers +0 +3 and rush, so that you can trade the board. At the same time, it still does have that can't take more than 3 damage at a time. Okay, the only problem I have with my wording is that I think I forgot to add additional something as well, is that you search for a hero card other than Valen Fencer. I think I might need to put a restriction, or not people will just keep, you know, searching Valen Fencer into Valen Fencer into a Valen Fencer into a hero, which I think that should be avoided. But if added that clause into the effect, I think this card is quite balanced. What do you guys think? Okay, so next, for Witch, the Wonderland Dreams already have reviewed the legendary, which is Wizardess of Oz. I won't go too much into it, because when the whole thing is reviewed, I will do a, you know, review of the whole set. But let's go. Alright, burn baby! Okay, so for Flame of Laeveteinn for Witch, you have Miltina, Miracle Sorceress, and Mystic King. And of course, Mystic King is the card because we have Magical Strategy, playing with Magical Pawn, playing the chess, playing the chess sets. How I will change the effect is, I'll still give it its, you know, original effect. Whenever an ally Magical Pawn comes into play, give it +1/+1, Storm and Ward, and also still give its aura back. So however, I'll change the fanfare effect to Evolve, where on Evolve, summon 4 Magical Pawn. Whenever an ally Magical Pawn comes into play, give it +1/+1 Storm and Ward. Then this card have either Aura or Intimidate, depending on you know, which of the effects is less problematic. Yeah. Well, we'll make the card less problematic, yeah. And I don't think the stats will be 13, 15, 15. 13 cost 15, 15 stats. This was because original effect do have if Magical Pawn dies X number of times this turn, reduce the cost of the card by 8, I think. So I think I'll reduce this card to, I think, 6 mana. And 6 mana with 2 evolve feels that this card is not that broken. So it's like 6 mana 5/6 or 6 mana 5/5. And when you evolve, all the magical pawn, I think magical pawns are 2/2. So all of them, they are dealing 8 damage, which I think the card should be at high cost, so that you just can't play both of this card turn after turn and then just kill your opponent with it. Yeah. So what do you think of this card? Magical pawn. The thing is, this won't be the only magical pawn that will be spawned. Just only evolve from Mystic King. The whole archetype of this set most likely will be playing around that magical pawn. Yeah. So I think you do really need to have a high mana cost for the base of the card. So okay, for next dragon. So for Wonderland Dreams, the legendaries are Jabberwock and Worm God of the Skies. So Jabberwock is you destroy your card, then you put higher card cost from your deck into the playing field. Meanwhile, Worm God of the Sky is a last word effect where during your next turn, after the last word is triggered, during your next turn, all dragons follower comes into play, gains double their stats. Meaning that if you have a 5/5 dragon, it becomes a 10/10. Your forte comes in as a 14/6. Definitely not broken. I mean, yeah, definitely not broken, because she's a 9 mana and she costs last word, and she's just a 5/6 stats body, which make her very, very weak. So, in my opinion, what legendary will come out for Wonderland Dreams is Sibyl of the Waterworm. Yay! Definitely not a card from that set. And I do have my argument for it. My argument is that dragon don't even have a neutral, synergy in Wonderland Dreams. Now both of the cards are there because dragon was very strong before Wonderland Dreams, so they kind of need to give it some bad cards. And the main reason why dragon was OP is really because of Sibyl of the Waterworm. And some people might be angry right now, like, oh, you're gonna give dragon another ramp when dragon and Uma is so strong in the current meta. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'll keep the effect the same, where fanfare, you gain an empty orb. Instead of playing on the 5th turn, when you play, you just gain an empty orb, which is a buff. At the end of your turn, restore 3 defense to your leader if overflow is active for you. Yep, I think this effect is a buff. However, I will change her cost to 6 cost, because ramping is only problematic at the very early stages of the game. That's why Dragon right now is very strong with Dragon Oracle. However, if we were to make her 6 cost and she just bringing you straight into overflow, I don't think that will be much of a problem. Even you want to reach her, you still have to ramp twice before playing her. At the same time, it does what she was meant to do, which is you play her, you're able to have a body on board, and at the same time you're able to heal yourself. So I think I'll change this to 6 cost, and I kind of think that the card will be balanced. I think this is one of the more controversial prediction for this whole set. Yeah, so you guys can comment what is your thoughts on it. Do you think will this make dragon even stronger, having the 3rd ramp? Because the 3rd ramp, Dragonite Fervor, was a disappointment. Yeah, but it clearly shows that dragon don't need an additional ramp card. So what your guys' thoughts on it? Is Sibyl a good legendary to be coming out for BPO3? And then for the legendary for Flame of Laeveteinn have already been reviewed. It is the Laevateinn dragon itself. Who would have guessed? There is the Laevateinn dragon evolve, and then there's also the Laevateinn dragon attack mode evolve. So that means there's also Laevateinn dragon defense mode, right? Right? Yeah, lame joke. Let's move on. So for Nightmare for Wonderland Dreams, okay, a bit of a behind the scene of what I was thinking. So BPO2 have already shown that the Nightmare legendaries are both Bloodcraft. So I'm guessing, right? My prediction is that they're gonna come out with two Shadowcraft legendaries for this set. So for Wonderland Dreams, the Shadowcraft followers, we have Crop's Lot of Woe and Dark Alleys. And Crop's Lot of Woe doesn't look like it's belong to any of the fairy tale team. Meanwhile, Dark Alleys look like it's from a fairy tale team, but I don't know which fairy tale she is from. Yeah, I've never guessed which fairy tale she is from. I legit have no idea which fairy tale. Is it Rapunzel? I don't think so. But anyway, 7 mana 5/5. Oh, her original effect is last word you banish Shadowcraft card on your field and in your hand and your deck as well. So it kind of punish players for playing any Shadowcraft cards. If you play just her and no other neutral, your whole deck is gonna be gone and you're gonna lose the deck out. However, in this game, unless you're allowing your opponent to check your deck, I don't think Shadowverse Evolve ruling currently allows that to happen. So how I think they will make her change her effect is something like at the start of your turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can banish an ally neutral follower and summon this follower from the graveyard. Alright, and then last word, banish all ally nightmare cards. So it still does have the drawback which punish you for playing nightmare cards, and at the same time she still have the tenacity she's supposed to have. However, it kind of solved one issue where back in the past when people play Dark Allies, they play Dark Allies with Test of Strength, which kind of loop Dark Allies back with what over and over again until their Test of Strength leave the field. With the effect of you can summon it at the start of your turn, kind of solve that issue and balance this card balance this card out. So what you guys think? Do you think this is stronger or weaker? So for Flame of Laeveteinn, you have a Masquerade Ghost and you have Toshela, Noble Necromancer. So what has been revealed is Ghost. So yep, Masquerade Ghost will be the legendary. And also, as you can see, Gargantuan Ghost is there. And Masquerade Ghost do have Garganta Ghost in the CCG. I'm chopping up that name and I can't pronounce the name. Yeah, so that Ghost, right, is confirmed is in the CCG. And it kind of made me predict most likely this would come out. But the CCG version of Masquerade Ghost is very broken, especially if you play Unlimited, you'll realize how broken this card is. So how do you balance it out for this current SVE? So we still have the effect Fanfare, you summon a ghost. When you enter the battlefield, summon a ghost. And you still have the effect whenever an ally ghost comes into play, give it +1/+0. However, the evolve costs 2. So what does the evolve does? On evolve, we summon that ghost. Alright. So whenever an ally ghost comes into play, give it +1/+0. Only allied ghosts. Alright, you cannot that ghost doesn't count, only ghosts, alright. And then at the same time, I give it the last word effect. So I give it the last word effect. I'll put this card in EX area. So it kind of is the same as the Peppy Ghosty. When you evolve, he also gain the last word, put this card in EX area. I'm predicting they will also include this effect for him as well. And the mechanic for this is that when this card dies, right, you put the base in the EX area and the evolve card into the evolve deck face up. So it isn't as broken, like it will keep coming back and with the evolve go back face down and you can use it again. No, you still have limited evolve, and the thing is it just have a bit more tenacity, like the card is supposed to be in the CCG. It's just a bit weaker, And Gargantuan Ghost is this 1 mana. That ghost is 1 mana 3/3 ward. At the start of your turn, banish that ghost. Alright. So what do you guys think? Is this better or is this still very, very strong? Okay, so for Bishop, Wonderland Dreams, we have Lion of the Golden City and Princess Snow White. So Lion of the Golden City is whenever you play a neutral card, reduce the lion cost, and then when you play him, you can drop a amulet from hand on the battlefield and destroy the amulet, triggering its last word. However, I think Princess Snow White fits the theme better. I'm thinking that they will be using Princess Snow White as well. However, Princess Snow White do becomes a problem with the mechanic, because effect is last word, you summon another of her evolved, and it's 2/2. And currently in the game, there's no way for you to evolve on last word. I guess you're not able to bring out a card and just from the evolve that and put it on the follower. So how I want to make her is, I want to make her still have the tenacity damage. She still have to take 2 damage to die. So I give the effect this follower can only take 1 damage at a time. I'll give her as a 2 mana 2/2 base, and then 1 to evolve. And then on evolve, right, she still have the damage mitigation, but at the same time, I do give her additional effect, which is she can restore 1 defense at the end of the turn. So it kind of make her very strong. And I think I will increase her attack to 2 mana 3/2 so that she's able to trade out stuff more efficiently. And at the same time, she's still, vulnerable to banish, to a bishop mirror match. So I kind of feel that this is a much better way of you know deploying her in the game, and it kind of still maintained her image, her integrity from the CCG. So what do you guys think? Is this a good solution, bad solution? Comment down below. And then for Flame of Laeveteinn, you have Diamond Master and Holy Lightning Bird. Holy Lightning Bird play around crystallization. Meanwhile, Diamond Master is the legendary because the gem family has already been shown. Back in BPO2, you have Sapphire Priest and Emerald Maiden. And in order to fit their team, right? So it seems that Diamond Master have very strong effect in the CCG, which I think can't translate to SVE. So how I want to make her is that I want to give her the ability, give all allied ward followers storm, meaning she will gain storm herself because she will have ward, and give all other allied ward follower +1/+0 on fanfare. So I kind of make her like combo with the Emerald Maiden and Sapphire Priest, meaning that you'll be playing a ward heavy deck, and you can just turn the tide of battle with playing Diamond Master to make all your ward follower have storm. At the same time, she can be combo with Aegis as well, when you play Aegis through Seraph, and then you play the amulet to give Aegis ward, and all of a sudden your Aegis have storm, which kind of give Haven the game ender that they desperately need right now. Aegis is a strong card, but it's not a very good game ender. So I think this card can help Haven as well, to gain an edge, especially, they are losing out currently to both Uma and Dragon. What do you guys think? Do you think this card is too strong with Aegis? Do you think that this will make Aegis broken? Okay, so for neutral, right, the Wonderland Dreams, we definitely have Alice in Wonderland. The Queen of the Red Sea, don't need to care. Definitely Alice in Wonderland. This is the whole point of the whole prediction, that they will be playing around Alice in Wonderland. However, the old effect will not work because it kind of needs you to be able to review that you have neutral cards in hand, and those neutral cards will get +1/+0. So in order to keep her identity of a very good tempo swing, the effect I think they will give her is that she will give non-neutral followers on the board -1/-1, and then all allied neutral follower gains +1/+1. So it kind of reward you for playing neutral followers. At the same time, if your opponent are playing non-neutral followers, it kind of punish them, and makes the tempo swing, I think, substantiable. I don't think it will be very broken. It will just be just nice, for your opponent to be in a bit of trouble after you have a big board from Alice. Wonderland Explorer. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is good or this is bad? Kind of hurt Cinderella a bit, I know, but I think that's the best way I can come up with her for something that, to be balanced, not too broken. Okay, so the legendary for Flame of Leviathan for neutral is already out. I'll go in depth when the whole set has been reviewed. And with that, that is my prediction for Flame of Leviathan. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys join in the discussion. Do you think this prediction is accurate? Is it good enough? Just discuss below. Be civilized, be gentlemen. Don't, and ladies and gentlemen, don't be too uncivilized. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time.